Well, here we are. It is Monday, the what is it, the 16th of March already, and we had some gremlins on the technical side, but we're ready to go, guys. Welcome to Recon. Thanks, coaches, for being on. We've got a good one for you, and we're going to pick up on kind of a conversation we had in the last couple of weeks, and that is a finicky buyer that's maybe doing a little bit of moonwalk back and forth. So this is a conversation. It's probably in the chat. Louise probably put it in there. And this is the conversation. You had just shown your buyer a home. After the showing, this is what your buyer says. You know, after seeing this home, maybe a better option for me is to rent for another year or two. Now, that's after the showing. You're in the home. There's nobody else around. No sellers. What do you do? In what directions do you go with that conversation? So good morning, Louise. Kelly, who's ready to go today?
Ellie is ready.
Yes, I am. Hi, good morning. So, Louise, what feedback do you have about this showings that we had today?
I just feel like that's that house doesn't do much for me if that's all I can afford. Maybe
Okay.
it's better for me to rent another year or two.
Okay. Louise, when did you start looking? Like you said that you were kind of wanted to buy a few years ago, right? Is that correct?
We did, and we saved up for some down payment money. Then we reached out to you and saw this home.
That's wonderful. So, help me understand, how would you feel like in the next few years when this equity that you sell, the savings is gonna go like, you know, towards the landlord instead of going into your pocket, so to speak, instead of going to your building your wealth?
Well, at least I like where I'm renting. This house that I can afford, the houses I can afford just don't look so great.
Okay. Would you be open to see other houses? Maybe that would be better options for you.
I would, yeah.
Okay. So let's do, okay. All right, let's
All right. Thanks for going first, Liz. So let me ask you a question. As you know, we reveal this a little bit at a time. So you're showing home, and they say, "Hey, look, maybe we're going to rent because this house isn't making my socks go up and down." So I know you got there for some particular reason. What is it about the house, Elizabeth, that's not working for them?
Yeah, I didn't get to that. Yeah.
So
Because
that I
actually,
mean,
I wasn't thinking about the house. I was thinking about what their, the reason why they actually want to buy, and then what makes it, their mind changed.
well,
Because sometimes it's not about the house per se.
you automatically went to building some sort of equity in the future. I never heard him say anything about that. So I'm just so as we remember, you guys, we want to get clarity. All right, we want to get clarity and really, what is it? Get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. It's going to take a few questions, you guys. We in a chess game, we can't make two moves in a row, meaning we have to move, then they have to move before we move. So the good thing about real estate is we can ask them what's on their mind after they made their move. All right, so way to go first. Who's next, Louise?
Okay, next is Jose with Kelly, followed by Robert with me.
All right, Jose. We just after seeing this, maybe a better option for me is to rent for another year or two.
Thanks for letting me know, Kelly. What makes you say that?
Well, we're just not totally happy with what we're seeing right now.
This particular house or houses in general that we've been to see?
Just anything we've seen.
Okay. You are still looking at the houses I send you online, correct?
I am. Just none of them make me overexcited about jumping out of rent and wanting to buy right now.
What would make you overexcited to continue this process, Kelly?
I think having a just better options. I just don't like the options that we're seeing right now.
So outside of the options, Kelly, and if we found a home that checked the boxes for you, would you still purchase instead of rent?
Well, I guess we just need to clarify the options here. It's not really about the house. We're just feeling the money pressure and the commitment pressure of it.
Tell me more, Kelly.
Um, well, just the uneasiness of making that commitment of buying a house right now.
What makes you uneasy about the commitment?
It's a big
Time.
financial obligation.
Time. All right, tell me what you know, Jose.
That there's more to just the inventory that's out there.
Why aren't they wanting to move forward?
The commitment.
What does that mean?
That's what I need to uncover.
All right, so he did a good job of he kept asking questions. Again, we got 90 seconds. I'm not suggesting you can solve a Rubik's Cube inside 90 seconds, although I did look it up. There is a world record on a Rubik's Cube. Put in the chat without Googling it, and don't go to chat either. If you know somewhere around where the record is, it's pretty shocking. So just between me and you and Jose, and you can put it in the chat too. What do you think is holding him back?
The commitment. It's financial commitment of some sort.
Well, okay, we never got to that point, did we?
No.
Also, here's a little hint for the next role play. I want to stay with Kelly on this one. Kelly, stay on that path. And is it Robert? Pick it up from there. Kelly, go. Robert, will you pick it up and stay on the same path?
So, Kelly, I'm genuinely concerned. Tell me what is it about the idea of the commitment that's scaring you?
Well, it's a long-term commitment. And I don't know if I'm completely sold on the house we've seen and putting that together with that long-term financial commitment.
I see. So, uh, so is there something wrong with the house that you don't like, or is it the commitment?
Um, well, I guess there's just some uncertainty right now with the finances. I don't I'm not real sold on the house either, so I'm having some confusion with how much this house is costing and what it's going to cost me monthly.
Right, right.
I'm having some internal conflict, is what I'm trying to say with that.
I can understand that. I can understand it, and I would love to be able to try and figure out a way to piece that through. So, um, Kelly, I mean, you speak of uncertainty. I mean, at this point in time, you're renting. Um, does it not scare you the fact that you're continuing to put money out for rent month after month, year after year, and you have nothing that you're going to get back from that? Does that not scare
Hey,
you?
there, time. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little hint here. All right, so here's where my mind is going. Write this down if you're taking notes. And by the way, this and all the other role plays we do are actually going to be posted on my YouTube channel, The Mastery of Real Estate. And by the way, we're going to unveil a new look and logo. This from now on is going to be called Mastery Recon. Why is it mastery? I mean, could be a lot of different role play classes out there, but we're gonna teach you mastery concepts in the role play. Fair enough. So, a couple things I've written down. Going back to the beginning, Jose's one. He talks about not really liking it, whatever. Here's a question that I would ask: is that, well, let me ask you, do you want to love a home you don't own and never will, or would you rather like a home you own and build equity in? That would be a good question. Number two, just in the second part of this, long-term financial commitment, uncertainty. I mean, Kelly's all over the road. So Kelly, kind of narrow it down a little bit, okay? Because you're everywhere. So a couple of things that go through my mind. Well, all right. So let me ask you, we sat down in the office, we went through all of this. and we were ready to go. What changed? Something changed. What changed? Okay, here's something else I'm wondering. Well, okay, so there's a lot of uncertainty in the long-term financial commitment. So what is your alternative, Kelly? Renting. What is it? What is the term of that commitment? A year, right? So is there still uncertainty when you rent? And what type of uncertainty would you need in order for renting to actually win in the long run? You could say, well, something could happen in the short run, but what if it didn't? What if in the long run you were able to own? Don't always default to building equity because there could be something else, but somehow something changed. That's why I wrote this conversation. You showed them the house. Now they're probably, and this is what I'm guessing, Louise, you'll be up next. Back to the first role play, they're not digging out their what they can afford. What is it, champagne taste on the bologna budget or something? So Louise, who's next?
Next is Carlos, me. Hey, Carlos. After
Good
seeing,
mo-
hey, Carlos. After seeing this, maybe a better option for me is to rent another year or two.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Luis. Could you tell me how that would benefit you, real quick?
Well, maybe in a year I can find a home that I like. It seems like what I can afford today isn't so great.
Okay, so what I think I'm hearing, Luis, is you're looking for a home that would check your boxes, and also you talk about affordability. What does that look like to you?
The lender says I can afford this amount, and you're showing me this house, which is what I can afford, but I don't like that house.
Okay, so what I think I'm really hearing is it's not really the house. The question is about the affordability. Can we talk about that a little bit, Luis? What is that number for you?
The number the lender gave us, the one that we're working with that I showed you.
Okay, appreciate that. And Luis, can you remind me how much you're paying monthly right now for your rental?
Believe it or not, we're paying just around the same amount that the pre-approval would get us to each month.
Okay. And did you also know there are benefits to owning a home versus you being a rental?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. And if you become an owner, as we talked about when we had our initial consultation, you said really you had 2 or 3 years plan ahead, right? And how is that going to be affected if you don't follow or we don't follow with your plans?
So I kind of like this. That's a minute 45. I kind of like where you're going there, Carlos. I would, at some point in time, you wanted to own. We had a conversation and you wanted to own. Tell me the reasons why you wanted to be a homeowner. And maybe you missed something in the consultation session. Maybe, and again, back in the olden days, who remembers the days where the buyers would ride in your actual car? So you got to get rid of the Cheetos and stuff in the seat. Now they follow you. Maybe something happened in the conversation along the way, right? What changed? What was your original motivation? Another thing I want you to remember, it's not unusual, and we're in Florida, I'm in Florida, where people are coming from the northern states. And in Ohio, where I'm from, you could buy, most homes are on an acre. We have 50-foot wide lots, right? And they're more money. So they come down here and think, wow, I mean, I could have all of this back there. And here I get in Florida, I get this. So they're a little bit shocked, right, on what their money can do. So let's see if we can unpack that. So not bad, Carlos, not bad. I like your questions. Number next, Louise.
Fan and Kelly are next.
Hey,
Hang on
Fan.
a
Hey,
second.
after seeing this house, maybe a better
Kelly.
option. Yes.
Kelly, hang on a second. I want to do Louise. Just keep Fan. I want you to build on Louise's. Okay, Louise,
Okay.
stay in that position. We'll
Sure.
come back to you next.
Luis,
Were you
what
listening?
changed
All right.
What changed?
since we talked the first place?
Well, you showed me the house. I don't like this house.
Okay. Renting might be the best option for you. Now, would you share with me a little bit what like you do want to purchase a home, is that correct? Initially.
And when we initially spoke, yes, I told you I would like to purchase a home.
Yeah. So what changed?
This home isn't a home that I like.
Okay. Can you define like or what doesn't check your boxes?
Well, what I would pay to own this home and what I'm paying to rent are the same, pretty much. I like the home that I'm renting. This home just looks like I would be downgrading.
So other than the downgrade fact, anything else that we miss?
No, that's pretty much it. If I'm going to pay the same amount of money, I might as well get something I like.
All right. So now, if that's a now it's a big if that we're identify the next home that is very identical to where you rent it, are you likely to move forward?
Are you saying if we can find a home that I like, if we can find a home that I like, I'm happy to move forward.
Okay. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. So let's work on that.
All right. Now, generally speaking, good job on the questions until you got to that point. Now, she said it twice. I don't like the home. I don't like the home. Now, then you say, okay, so it's kind of like everybody's got a criteria before they date someone, before they marry them. And you probably don't get everything you want. And you want to get some of the things, the non-negotiables or the non-negotiables. But Fan, what's the probability that you're showing them a home and what they can afford based on their pre-qual letter? And if they could find what they rent and buy it, that quality or whatever they're looking for, the probability that exists is probably low. So now you set yourself up in a 3-year search scenario in which they probably will never get what they want. Does that make, I mean, that's the way I generally read it. And so I wouldn't recommend you drive down that road. I like what he did in the very beginning. And he was a little bit curt, but that's just his style. Okay, well, renting may be the best option for you. And then I'm going to wonder listen, if you've got a buyer looking in a certain price range, certain criteria range, and they can't find what they're looking for in that location, what is your option? They can expand their budget, but that may be finite. What else could they do? They could go further out. You know, sooner or later, they're going to get further from some sort of epicenter in which they might like it better. Now they have a choice. Okay. So would you, all right. Oh, another question I was waiting for you to go there is, Louise, how long do you anticipate living here? And well, if it's a year or two, then maybe renting is the best option. So if they're not going to, if they're going to be there, well, I don't know, maybe 10 years, that would give you another road to drive on. All right, let's go again. You guys are getting closer to this. All right, try to incorporate some of the ideas I'm giving you. All right, back to Kelly. Go.
Michelle and Kelly.
All right, Michelle, after seeing this, maybe a better option for me is to rent for another year or two.
Hey, Kelly. Yes, renting is something I can definitely help you with, and renting might be the best option for you. I was just curious, what changed?
We're just not feeling really good about this house. It's not meeting my expectations.
Okay, it's not meeting your expectations. What about this house is not meeting your expectations?
We're just not getting the warm and fuzzies from it. We just don't like it. I think the place where I rent now is nicer.
Okay, the place you're renting is nicer. Kelly, what warm and fuzzies are you looking for?
So I'm going to pause you just for a second. You guys are going back into criteria. I'm not a big fan of that. Here's where my mind is going, Michelle. Is it okay? So what? he said this house, let's just assume
Mm.
in this particular schools district that you want, this is kind of what your money does. So my question then, Kelly, is this.
Okay, I got you.
Wait, whoa, I haven't asked it yet. Are you willing to move further away into a different school district to have some more of the bells and whistles in which you want in a home and still it be affordable? Answer me, Kelly.
No, we need to get in the school district.
Okay, so that's a given. Your budget's a given. So what we're going to have to do then is probably accept the fact that you can rent a nicer home than owning. Like when you lease a car, you can get you have a lower payment, but you're leasing it. So my question is there any value to you in owning the home? By the way, how long do you plan on being in the home?
At least for another 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so my question is, do you want to build equity during that time, or do you just want to rent somebody and help your landlord build equity for 3 or 4 years?
Well, I would like to build equity, but I don't want to give up some of the luxuries that we have in the rental. What can we do?
Well, my question is, assuming you can't have all the things you have in your rental home, you got a really good buy on a rental. Let's say you go 4 years, and many times it goes longer than that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say it goes 5 or 6 years. So during that 5 or 6 years, maybe your home has gone up $50,000 in value, just for example. So would you be willing to give up some of those luxuries for that potential growth in equity? You see what I'm doing? I'm not making it about the home. The issue really is, yes, you can generally rent something like a car lease cheaper than you can own, but you're giving up something, aren't you? Are you not giving up the equity? What other value? Maybe their motivation was they're expecting a child and they want their own backyard. They want to be able to grill kibasi's on their own grill. They can't do that in the apartment complex. So you have to kind of almost let them put it on a teeter-totter. Which one's going to be more important? Not so much today, however, down the road. I also quantified that. Does that help you guys? Okay, so Michelle, good job. I love the fact, you guys, if you're new on this and haven't been watching Recon for a while, these guys that have been practicing, they're getting very, very good at questions. Notice there's no filibustering. Next, Louise.
We don't have an ex. Robert actually is always a good sport if he wants to cycle back.
Certainly.
I'll do it. Go ahead, Robert. Come to me. I'm gonna be your huckleberry. Go.
So Denny,
After seeing this house, I think we're better off renting for another year or two.
hey Denny, so I hear what you're saying, and it sounds as though you've given some indicators that your rental is nicer than this home. But Denny, the question is that would you rather love a home that you're renting and you're not building equity, or would you rather find a home that you like and you can be building equity in?
Well, I just feel like we're moving backwards. The apartment we're in is brand new. No one's ever trimmed their toenails in the carpet we're living in. This home, who knows what's in the carpet?
Yeah, and I can understand that, but inevitably, Denny, remind me again, how long do you plan on being in this home?
Well, we've been here a couple of years. I don't know. I have no plans on moving, but life happens, so I don't really have an end date.
Right. So let's say you're here for 5 or so years. You continue to rent, Denny, and grant you don't have any toenails in the carpet, but the fact of the matter is at the end of those 5 years, you've got nothing. Whereas at the end of the 5 years in these homes that we're looking at, you could have, 50, 100, couple $100,000, depending on what goes on, in equity, that you will be able to move forward to another house.
It was kind of a lot of words, Robert.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Would you rather have that possible $50,000 to $100,000 of equity?
So the way to kind of truncate that, all right. So to have that newness, what is that worth to you a year?
Right. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, that's where I'm going. Here's the issue. They're comparing the cost of the rental to the cost of let's say that's equal, but they get a nicer apartment because the apartment is newer, right?
Right.
What are they not factoring in? It's costing them something for this newness.
Right.
So here's where you want to slice a turkey. We have time for another one. And again, if you're new to this, we're going to have at the top of the hour, we're going to have a 15-minute overtime. No recording, just kind of chatting back and forth. So Louise, who's going to bring us home?
Oh, Everard is going to bring us home.
All right. I think it's your turn, Louise.
Yep. Hey, Everardo, after seeing this, maybe a better option for me is to rent for another year or two.
Hey, Liz, I really appreciate you bring this up too. What did change from last time that we talked?
Well, I was excited about finding a home to purchase,
Hmm.
but if this is the type of home that I'm able to purchase, I'd rather rent.
So you rather rent instead of investing on a property that will bring value in the future. Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to get clarify on this.
I want to enjoy where I live. I don't imagine I would enjoy living in this place.
I see. And what was the initial reason that you were trying to own a home? I'm just trying
Uh,
to understand.
well, I've been renting, and I just feel like I'd rather invest in something. If I can own for the same price that I rent, then that's
Mhm.
what I would choose to do.
I see. I see. And I'm trying to understand. I'm here to help you, Lois. Either way you want to rent or own a property, but I just want to bring that up to you. Like, what will be make a difference if you own a property and build equity in a property. In 5 years, build probably about $50,000-$100,000 on an equity and be able to have an equity instead of renting and have nothing.
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It makes sense to build equity, right? But I don't
Mhm.
want to do it and feel miserable.
Time.
No, yeah, yes, okay.
Again, you guys I mean, I love the fact you're asking questions. There's no one way to do this. You have to get into the discovery. I think one of the biggest things that, and I don't know if you guys we'll kind of put a bow in it. We'll get ready to go into overtime here in a few minutes. When they say this home, this home, this home, that might mean to me, and we didn't really drill down on it. Okay, so Louise, okay, this home. So let me just ask you, generally speaking, we went over the homes that were available in this school district in your price range.
Mhm.
It may not be this home, however, what about this home can you live with that's different than your apartment? What could you live with? What couldn't you live with? And by the way, I mean, if you just go back, let's say 5 years, if you don't want to talk about the future, which we don't predict the future, this in this particular school district, these homes have been up, they're appreciating about $15,000 a year over the past 5 years. So you're here. So what is that? $75,000 or $15,000 a year. So let me ask you, are you willing to invest what you're paying in rent and $15,000 a year just because you have a new place? You see how you can kind of slice that turkey and bring it down into a financial decision? Because Gary Keller says this in the Bold Truth. Everything is a math problem. And it's very easy to fall in love with the smell, that new car smell. Yet you have to help them understand. Don't give them false hope because they probably can't get. Have you ever had a buyer that their criteria was unrealistic to their budget? So something has to give. They win the lottery, they rent, or they have to then what? Change their criteria. So we can go into overtime. Thank you so much, Sherry. Recordings are going off. Raise your digital